Thanks for joining me back in the garage. Got Simon over here, of course, like always. Yeah, Simon's got clutch issues. Wasn't able to run any good ETs last time I had him out, and I've been hesitant in actually pulling the engine and taking the clutch out because I can still drive them around town. And I've really been enjoying some of the cruise-ins around some of the local towns around here, and everybody always seems to enjoy Simon. What I got here is a bench full of new parts, and some of these new parts involve a clutch disc, a pressure plate, and a throwout bearing. And I ordered these from AA Performance, and I was actually very surprised that the clutch disc showed up in a Kennedy box. I was expecting it to be an empty product. Who knows? They're probably the same thing. I don't know. I'm going to try something a little different here. One of the things I hope to do when I have the engine out is do some pressure testing. One of my previous videos using a torque wrench with a modified socket slash input shaft to kind of test the breaking point of the clutch. I did a little more studying on this, and like I said before, nobody really has any perfect numbers of what they should be, but I did see where you can actually test and get and fine-tune it to get the the best pressure with the pressure plate. So I'm understanding these sometimes these things are made and the measurements aren't the same, so you got to actually kind of fine-tune and see where that's at. One of the products I've got, I'll show you here. They're on the bench here someplace. Probably lost them. There they are. I've got these. These are by the Dub Shop. These are little spacer shims that you can space out your pressure plate, which enables you to find the best gripping of the pressure plate slash disc. Yeah, Mario's got a lot of great products over there at the Dub Shop, so I recommend you guys, I'll try to leave a link down below here, but I do recommend you guys checking his shop out. It's nice to see some people actually still R&D and some of this Volkswagen stuff and coming up with new and great ideas. But the first thing we'll show is this neat clutch disc. Comes packaged nicely, and it's a 6-puck. You can tell it's 6-puck because it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pucks on it. And they're the same from side to side. And I believe that they are a ceramic compound. I tried to find some information that really didn't list it very well on AA Performance site, or actually went over to Kennedy's site to see, and they really didn't list what it was made out of. But I believe it's a ceramic compound. The other neat product I got here is this is an early slash late style pressure plate. And this is an AA Performance product. To me it looks like a Kennedy knockoff. I'll get you a closer look at it here. And it's a stage 1. And when I say early late style is, this ring here is removable. And I'll probably show you how to do that here, but first I'm going to do some little testing. But basically there's this clip on the inside here. You kind of snake that out of there and this part falls off. This is used on the earlier style throwout bearings, where the later style has the sleeve and it has to kind of fit in the center here. And I'll show you what that looks like. I have here an actual, the original stage 2 pressure plate, and you can see it's removed. This is one I was running on Simon prior to the stage 2 I got in there now that I haven't pulled that out. I'm kind of interested to see what that looks like. But I want to kind of do a little test between this and the brand new one, and I kind of want to show you guys how I do that. I don't have a gauge or anything. I'm going to use the heel press to show you how this is done. So I'm going to set this on the floor, and I'm going to use this 4th gear here to kind of simulate a throwout bearing. Kind of prop myself up on the bench here. I'm just going to use my heel and see what it feels like. If I don't slide off, I can get a good idea what it feels like. And I'll tell you the truth, this still feels pretty stiff. Now with the new pressure plate, which already has a ring on it, so we won't have to use the 4th gear, we'll kind of see what this feels like, just to compare between the two of them. This does feel stiffer. This is a stage 1, and the other one was a stage 2. This is brand new. The other one was severely used. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of numbers I can pull if I can do the test properly. We're coming to the end of summer here, and I kind of want to get as much driving as I can with Simon before we put him into hibernation and get back to working on Hubert here. Yeah, so hang with me and we'll see what we can come up with. All right, day has finally come. Got to get the engine out of Simon here to replace the clutch. Yeah, I know it's had the problem back in July, and this is now September 3rd, I believe. What's taking me so long? Well, I've been having so much fun just cruising around to these local car cruise-ins and stuff, you know, enjoying the car, you know, tuning it and kind of enjoying it. Hard to tune it because I really can't do any high-speed pulls because that's, you know, when the clutch wants to slip. And I wasn't doing any racing, and I don't plan on doing any racing until October 1st. So yes, I have less than a month to get the engine out, replace the clutch, and get everything back in. But I think it's time to actually replace the clutch cable since it's 15 plus years old, you know. So yeah, I got to get to work here. One of the last cruises I just did here yesterday, we went to Uncle John's cider mill and enjoyed one of the nicest cruises in the area. It's up to one of the local cider mills. Then yeah, the wife actually joined me for this and sat in the car. It was a 37-mile one-way trip, so we did 74 miles in the car. And I was very surprised. I think I averaged 14.5 miles a gallon on E85. But yeah, enough of that. Let's get the engine out of the car so we can do what we were set out to do.
Wise, we check everything. 1971 Palmer. So it's got a classic.
I'm going to spin this around and give you guys a little view. Something doesn't look right on the pressure plate. What I'm noticing is I see a big gap right in here, which I don't see on this one. Granted, this is bolted on, and I don't know, I guess I can quickly unbolt right now to see if it makes any difference. I got to get a lock on here. But yeah, it just doesn't look right. Just couldn't find a 13. I thought it was a 10 that we lost. All pulled out after I loosened it up, so yeah, I was hoping that was going to be the problem. Yeah, let's take a look and see what this disc looks like. Not really seeing anything that catches my eye other than it looks like there's more wear here than over here. But I gotta take a measurement of this and see if it's the thick one. I guess I make a thick one and a thin one of these discs, and I didn't realize that before I bolted it all together. You know, the flywheel don't look all that bad. Looks like I just might have to just clean it up a little bit. Before I put the engine up on the engine stand, I want to resurface this flywheel here, and I'm gonna do it the old vice grip garage way. Well, I'm not 100% satisfied with it, but it's cleaned up. All the deglaze is off of it, but it did look like that clutch disc might have did a little bit of a number on this. I'm going to see what my ratings are when I do the old torque thing, and if I'm not completely satisfied, I may have to remove the flywheel and send it for a regrind, but yeah, let's cross our fingers and hope we don't have to do that. Let's see what we got. Alright, got the engine on the engine stands around the corner over here. Right now I'm doing a little measurement on the clutch disc here, and I am seeing a little bit of a difference. Grab the old calipers here, put them on inch, zero it out. And this one here is the Black Magic, which Ron Lummus really likes. And I'm measuring, yeah, about 327, 330. And on Ron Lummus's website, you know, this Black Magic is spec'd out to be 330 thousandths. And then the brand new one here that I got from A Automotive, which is a Kennedy product, measuring about 15 thousandths difference. So yeah, this is measuring in about 314. This is brand new. So this one is a little thinner. Now I looked in this book here I have. It's the Haynes book. You guys are kind of blurry. In here doesn't really give any specs on what the thickness of the clutch disc should be. It does say that the least amount of wear should be a 1/16 above or 2 millimeters above the rivet. So yeah, that's not very helpful. I know I got a few more books. Maybe later in I'll go in and take a look and see if there's any more measurements on there. But I am going to, if you guys are really all into numbers and the mechanicals of all this, I'm going to link Tom Simpson's a link down below to one of his videos where he kind of talks about all the specs. I kind of get lost with all of that stuff, but I'm kind of maybe understanding a little bit. This one was a little bit thicker. Maybe the pressure plate needed to be shimmed out some to get the best performance out of it. I think what he was getting at was that you kind of overspring the pressure plate. I don't know. Yeah, so the next thing I want to do is I want to take the pressure plate that was on there and see where the old heel gauge comes in at. Let me find a piece of cardboard. That actually feels really good. Do a comparison to my old wore out one. Feels about the same. Just throw the new one down there. Oh yeah, I'm hardly even springing on this one. This is stage 1, the other ones are stage 2s. Yeah, maybe they'll kind of feel the same. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess it's time to wheel the engine over here and start bolting stuff together and trying the old torque wrench thing. They give a little bit of clutch talk here. You can see that these are a little bit different. They are both 6-puck. I asked the guy, I go, why would this grip better than a full fiber disc? See if I got one of those lying around here real quick. Yeah, here's a fiber disc. It's circumference all the way around. This is a Dakin super disc, and I've always liked running these in the past, and I don't know why I'm changing. This one was slipping a little bit in the higher RPM range, and I think when I did take it apart, I did find a little bit of oil in there, so that's probably why it was slipping. I probably should just go back to the true and tried, tested wheelie standing machine, but no, I'm gonna go stage 1. I believe this is ceramic. What he always said was there's less surface to grab on here, so it's gonna grab harder on the surfaces it does grab versus having the full one. It's not going to grab as hard on the full one. And you can see this one, it's a lot more material than this one. Even though a lot of people really talk highly of this, I don't know why it didn't work for me. So yeah, don't know. We'll try the other one, probably pulling it out, going back to the true tried Dakin Super Disc, unless I just happen to find the money in the bottom of my pockets and can get the dual disc set up, which is very expensive. I'll link down Ron Lummus's website down below too. Try to remember to do that. He sells all that good stuff. All right, about ready to start torquing on this, starting the fun stuff. First I'm going to clean everything up and then bolt the new pressure plate on with the new clutch and see what our readings are. First reading, I'm just going to bolt it on. And the second reading will be, we'll start adding some of these shims. Like I said earlier, I bought some of these specialty shims from the Dub Shop. And I don't know, there's 3 different sizes in there, I think. We'll probably start with the thin ones and work our way up from there. And I probably should remove this ring while we're at it. It's pretty simple to do. It's just this little snap collar ring in here, and pretty much just undo it. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Probably should have done that earlier. Could have used that for my heel test. Now I got this homemade pilot tool where I can hook the what's that thing called? Where I can hook torque wrench to. I gotta find my screws. Okay, one thing I'm noticing, this does look a lot like the other one when I took it off, so that must be normal. Now we need to set this. I think when I was doing this once before, my readings were closer to 200. So I'm gonna start out roughly around 150 and see what we wind up with. Okay, I didn't feel it budge. Go 160. Nothing. Skip over 170. We'll go right to 180. Go 190. 200. Alright, I just felt it spin. Spins about 200. So try to remember that. I should probably write that down. Now we're going to put the next size shims, which are probably 10,000s. See if he's got them written on here. We got 15, 30, and 60. Alright, I just, instead of waste of time, just jumped right to the big dogs. I put the 60s in, and I just kind of for me and my purposes, just kind of wanted to see if it made any difference or not. And well, gonna find out. Remember the last setting was 200. I left the wrench right at 200, so let's see what happens. It did slip a little bit, but not as easy as it did with the other ones. Lower it back down a little bit. Lower it down to, oh, that's 188. Maybe I went too far. I will say it's kind of tedious to put those in, but I will say that they are a fine looking product. He even laser etches his logo on there and the numbers. All right, got 30,000-cent shims in there. Figured maybe I went too far, so I went halfway back. What's this thing set at? We're at 200. Well, seems like a good starting point. And it slipped too. Yeah, so far I'm not seeing any difference with the shims. I think my next test I want to do, just for curiosity, I want to bolt the old setup on, see where that slips at, and then I want to try the old pressure plate with the new clutch, see where that's at. Because like I said, I'm testing a stage 1 right now, and the other one is a stage 2, but when I do my little heel test, they feel kind of the same. So, just for my curiosity, if that stage 2 seems to measure a little bit more, maybe I'll have that one reground and we'll put that one on. Or, I don't know, I even got my old one I could test out. Alright, grab the handy dandy torque wrench. Got the old pressure plate and the old Black Magic disc in here. And I should point out, I know I've been saying Ron Lummus sells these. I did not purchase this particular disc from Ron Lummus. This was purchased from another vendor. And I don't know, it was labeled a Black Magic. It looks like a Black Magic, but I don't know if it is the same unit that Ron Lummus sells. Alright, I wanted to change the torque wrench back down some. Since I'm trying at 200, let's drop her down to 150. Go from there. 150. 160. Held there. 170. Held there. 180. What we got going on here? 190. We're at the magic 200 mark. 220. Oh, this thing's holding really good. I don't know why I'm slipping. 230. 240. Nope, I don't go much more than 250 for this torque wrench ends. Well, now I'm baffled because this thing wouldn't hold when it was in the car. I mean, granted, I did kind of do the Vice Grip Garage regrind on the flywheel, but I didn't touch the pressure plate. So now I'm curious. Now I gotta switch disc and see if this holds better than with the other disc or not. Otherwise, I'm at a loss, which is nothing new. No kid, I'm at a loss. Cookies were really good though.
Maybe Simon just needs a cookie.
I left my mic on. It's good for the battery. I want to try that clutch disc with this pressure plate, but then I want to mount that one again. Ow!
Good job.
Alright, got the stage 2 with the new clutch disc installed, and you guys been keeping track how many times I've taken this thing off and on, and that one off and on, because I lost count a long time ago. But we're going to give it another shot, take another measurement on it, and see where everything's at. Let's back it back down. We know the other one slipped at 200, so we'll try 190. Try 200. So I guess my old heel test doesn't work really well. This definitely is holding better. 210. Slips at 210, so it holds a little bit more. 10 more pounds. Question is, do I get that reground now and run it, or do I run the brand new one? Man, I really don't know what to do here. All right, just for fun, I bolted on the old pressure plate. The original one that's, well, it's just as old as the other one, but I ran it for over 15 years. We'll go back down to $1.90 and see if it holds. I got the new $6 clutch disc in. Hold on. Go to 200. 210 is where the other one gave out at. And that's where this one gave out at. Yep. $1 million question is, do I try all the new equipment Or do I try one of my old stage 2s? That's a good question. I'm almost tempted just to bolt the new stuff in, just to keep the transmission happy. Last thing you need to do is have that come unglued. But yeah, that's a fun experiment. You didn't get to see the whole thing.
No.
Got to learn about clutch, right?
Yeah.
Clutches, kind of.
Kind of.
Pressure plates.
For the most part.
At least what I know about them. So yeah, probably bolt that all together, and then I gotta take the clutch cable out of Simon. That thing is older than dirt too. But yeah, so I'll leave you guys today. Keep cruising, keep shifting those gears, and enjoy the ride. We're out of here.